Hello everyone, my name is Akshay Kumar Dattatre Bhagat and today is 4th of August 2022 and it's my original video. So today we are going to see what are the different types of methods in JPA and in short we will see what is meant by JPA and we will see the types of the queries in JPA. So first of all, we will start with what is meant by JPA. So basically, as in previous lecture or topic, we have seen that what is meant by JPA. So JPA is nothing but an Java Persistence API, and API stands for Application Programming Interface. So basically, JPA is an interface which is uh, internally implementing the Hibernate and Hibernate internally implementing JDBC. So all the donkey work of JDBC has been minimized by the Hibernate and the Hibernate work. For Hibernate, for Hibernate, our own Java JPA has been introduced. So basically, JPA repository is an interface. So basically, JPA interface is having different types of means we can say it is having different types of interfaces. Like its parent interface is an repository interface. So basically, the repository interface it doesn't have any methods or any variables. So that interface is called as an marker interface. So basically the marker interface is an interface which doesn't have any methods. Just it is giving the name of the parent. Then its child interface is an CRUD repository. So basically CRUD repository is having different methods. So the CRUD repository is extending the repository. So CRUD repository is a child repository. So in CRUD repository, we are having, as name is having CRUD, means create, read, update, delete. So for that sake, in that CRUD repository, we are having different types of method like save all, find by ID, find by name, find by username. So these are the some methods which is having CRUD repository. So then again it is extending the different another repository. So which is uh, which is the uh, another interface. So which is having its own method. So like this, the JPA repository is having different interfaces and its parent interface is an repository interface. So this was about the JPA interface. So why we are using JPA interface? So suppose for as we know that if we want any object in DI, then we have to create the object. We need an object. So as we want loose coupling, so loose coupling is achieved by this. So as we are calling the calling the object for the interface, we are getting object. So like this only, we are having JPA repository, and we are in this Spring server. Our JPA repository gives us object. So basically, if we want our own object, own class object, which is derived by us, then we have to create our own interface, and we have to extend that interface by JPA repository. Means if we will call our interface, at that time our interface is extending the JPA repository interface. Then automatically the JPA repository interface functions or methods or any which is extending the its own interfaces, that properties will come to our own created user interface. Then basically like this we will create our own method. We will create our own method, and we are generating our own methods. So basically now we will see there are different types of methods. So there are basically different types of queries. So there that are predefined queries. So basically predefined queries are like we are doing the CRUD operation in Spring. what that is meant by create, read, update, delete. So for that sake, for creating our database, we are using this save method. So basically this save method, find by id method, find by username method, so these are the predefined queries. So like this delete by, delete all, is empty, count. So basically these all methods are the predefined methods, or we can say it as predefined in predefined queries we are using this method. Then there are derived queries. So basically this derived queries is nothing but we are making an combination, and we are creating this method which is internally having methods. So basically we are using that combinations and we are firing the query to the database. So from database all the data has been come. So basically suppose take an example. So suppose if we want from database, if we want the top three rankers. So at that time, we will if we are using the Java. So if we are using Java, then Java doesn't take if we are not have the Spring doesn't have any ready-made method. Then in that scenario, we have to tell to the database that give me totally each and every list of the student, and from that student I have to create or write the program to find the maximum three which we have scored maximum mark. So that is basically a very huge task. So why this JPA has been come? There is no advantages of the JPA if this method, if this we have to do task. So that is possible by JPA. So in JPA we are having different methods. So we are using that derived queries, and we are just passing the object, and we are telling the SQL itself, you find the top three and just give that top three list to me, and then it is created into again object and it is returned back. So like this, that are the we are calling it as an derived query. And if we want to create our own query and we want to fire, so at that time Spring has given a provision, that is it is given an @ query annotation for that sake. So by using @ query annotation, the Spring Data JPA will know that it is an query and we have to pass this query to the SQL. So that query is nothing but we are writing in SQL to find something like select star from student, where queries or any other query, we have to write our own itself by giving the conditions. At that time we are using these native queries. So this native queries having different types like percentage, hash. Percentage means is nothing but if we'll give 1%, so at that time it will take that means it will take that take the first integer as its parameter. So it will consider it as an parameter, and if we will take hash, then it will take string, and whatever we will pass, that will taken as an string. So for taking the string as a variable, we are using hash, and for the variable we are taking question mark and 1. So basically this was the about the JPA repository interface. So so that was all about today's topic. Thank you.